being a release height shooter is more important, or whether being a release speed shooter is more important. There are a lot of things that you could go about creating the best jump shot. There are a lot of ways you could go down this road, and there is not one exact way, one preferable way. Trust me, there is one specific thing, multiple specific things you need to really consider when you're making your jump shot. You need to consider a lot of things, and these are very important. I will be breaking down in this video. So I've been hearing this all over the 2K community. Do you want to be a release height shooter or a release speed shooter? Let's dive deep in. First, we gotta start off with release height shooters. Release height shooters got a lot going for themselves. When I tell you, a release height shooter can get away with a lot. The problem is, when you create a jump shot that has a very high release points, let's just say an A+ release point, and you, guess what? You can get the best of both worlds with it. So you can get release height and release speed. So it's like, it sounds like it defeats the whole purpose of the conversation, but it don't. And you get a great defensive immunity. The problem is, once you do this, it will ruin your time and stability. Now, there are multiple ways you could go with raising your release height to A+. You could go with raising your time and stability, but something else will give, and you could give up the release speed or the defensive immunity. Something gotta give. Everything can't be perfect. What I seen when I chose to release, I was being realistic. When somebody make a jump shot that has a very high release height, they're gonna put a great amount of release speed into it. As I was playing random rec, time and stability do get a little ugly. When it's clutch time and your defenders are starting to close out a little bit more faster than usual, they start to get adjusted to your patterns and your gameplay, you gotta be careful with knowing your jump shot. Knowing your jump shot means so much. A very great release height point. I will say truly, I recommend going with a very high release height point if you are going against, let's say, comp. And when I say comp, the person you guard, the person who guarding you likely is their best player or one of their top 2, top 3 defenders. Top 2 defenders. Release height point is so perfect. And the reason I love it, it's so versatile. So if you get 1 through 5 guarding you, I would recommend you. And if you all about a consistent jump shot that is very reliable, that can get me through any situation, I will 100% go release high point. It's so high, the timing window for them to get towards you, it can mess up a little bit due to the time and stability being a little bit low. The jump shot is so consistent that it won't really become a problem unless you a guard who like to dribble a lot. Unless you one of those guards who dribble like a lot, or you know, an ISO player, then it can get a little ugly. But now, we gotta talk about my favorite one. The second most important one. You can argue which one is better. Now, let's get into release speed. There are a lot of things that come with having a very quick release speed. And when I tell you having a very quick release speed is so scary at first, it got so bad for me that I had to change my release speed from very quick to quick, because sometimes it's too quick. If you know, you know. If you play with your jump shot on very quick, you know what I'm talking about. How it can get a little tricky and a little ugly of it being a little bit too quick. Nothing wrong with that. Like, if you got the muscle memory and you already adjusted to it, that's cool, that's perfect. It actually make you a better prepared player. With release speed, the automatically given is release height. The thing about release speed, it gets a little ugly. They can, let's just say the shooting guard is the best defender. You gotta let that thing fly before he can even jump out. Giving release height, it give you time and give you a window. It's okay. If you want to compromise a little bit of release speed, it's okay. But with release speed, I'm talking about this something I will bring in comp. Like when I'm playing random rec and I gotta be serious and I'm the point guard, I run with a very quick release speed. I got to, because they close out so fast and I gotta beat them to the punch. Release height, I be having a little moments where it get a little ugly to where the best defender, he'll close out and his challenger will affect my time and stability, because it's already low at a C-, my time and stability. So I'm having a little situation with that. 2, that best defender got some type of challenger on their build, so that if they jump and put their hands up and reach out a little bit more, it can get a little tricky and ugly. I do know, and we all know this, if you go release speed, a lot of us like to use Steph Curry base for carry Kyrie Irving base or even Dame base. You feel me? There are moments where release speed catches up to you. And I'm talking about there are people out there in 2K who are willing to compromise their offensive capabilities just to be a lockdown defender. And when I say lockdown defender, I'm talking about them fast, twitchy lockdown defenders. That's when I truly believe release speed meets its kryptonite. Release height is effective against them short lockdown defenders who all about steal, perimeter defense. And as I'm talking about all this, I'm talking from a guard perspective. It's effective, but like I said, once you start getting those shooting guards, those wings, it can get a little ugly with release height. Release speed, once you meet a guard who's just as fast as you and he compromises his offensive capabilities just to be more of a lockdown defender, you got a long day ahead of you. I'm talking about a long day ahead of you. You have to be very careful with release speed. I truly prefer everybody go with the release speed jump shot because it's so much easier. It's so much. Once you get the muscle memory down pat, you got it. But there are instances where somebody will play you 94 feet. Even if you the point guard, don't want you touching the ball. And release speed will all of a sudden look way more less effective compared to a release height. But hey man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all found it very informative. If you want to know my true preference, I gotta say release speed. Release height is very versatile. It can handle a lot of things. It's the compromising the time of stability and getting contested. That kind of messes with me a lot. Compared to the release speed to where if somebody jump out, I can let it fly. But if I'm going against a super lockdown point guard, okay, now it get a little questionable. It get a little ugly. But hey man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all, I'm nothing without y'all, but hey man, I'm nothing most high without Jesus Christ. I love y'all so much, man. Tyree say let's out. Peace.